This is the Honor Magic V6. It launched here in the UK this week and it's got the biggest battery ever put in a foldable. But here's the real question. If you already own last year's Magic V5, is this worth the upgrade? So first of all, let's get it unboxed. Lifting that lid, and that always excites me, we get to see the Honor V6. As this is a flexible display, there's some notes that you should read here. So lifting our device out, we're going to sit that to the side and see what else we get inside the box. So as you can see straight away, we've got a SIM tool, so this still has a physical SIM available. Inside here we do have a back cover and hinge cover in this vegan leather red fabric material. Feels very strange to the touch. Then we have our USB-C to USB-C cable for charging our whopping 6,660 millionth hour battery. Ignore the failed attempt of trying to open the protective covering because that reveals a large 7.95 inch interior display. Then turning around we get to see the 6.52 inch exterior display. This is where you also get to see the red vegan leather again with that sensitive touch to it. Turning it around, this is where you actually get to sense the thinness of this device. Unfolded, 4.1 millimeters, and then when folded, it's actually 9 millimeters. So incredibly thin, both folded and unfolded. Let's turn our device on. So pressing that power button down the right hand side, there is a slight tactile difference between the power button and your volume keys. We're greeted with Android, and this is running Android 16 with Magic OS 10 right out of the box. And unfold, and I'm going to set up unfolded. As you know, I'm passionate about accessibility. As I am visually impaired, I want to showcase the accessibility settings right here from the start. So tapping reading aid, this shows us a range of settings. So we're going to tap magnification, toggle magnification on, and 3 quick taps actually zooms into your display for you. With 2 fingers you can navigate around your display, and you can zoom and press with just 1 finger if you wish. The next option is then text size, and you have a scrub bar along the bottom, so you can scrub along to increase your text if you want, but with the larger display it's actually easy to use. Then we have high contrast text, and also inside here is text stroke, so these are options you can change. And then finally we've got high contrast buttons, and you can see it goes slightly grayer when toggled on. So coming back, let's go through the setup process together. So we're going to choose English, and then we're going to choose United Kingdom. We've got terms of use, and then you're going to select your Wi-Fi connection. Once selected and it turns blue, you can continue. Then you can copy apps and data. I'm not going to at the moment. And then you're going to sign in with Google, so you can say forgotten password, create account, or you could skip. I'm going to log in with my Google account. Once that's logged in, you're going to ask for device protection, so fingerprint, face recognition, or a password. Your fingerprint sensor is down the right hand side with your power button, and simply just fill that in with a few taps. Once that's filled in, you could do face recognition if you wish. Google services, so you tick all of these if you want to use all of the available services. Then you do have device backup as well, so I'm going to back up my device. Then choose your search engine. So in the UK and Europe we have to select our search engine. Obviously you can toggle one of these to see the features, but I'm just going to use Google, which is always at the top here. So you can let contacts know where you are and share information with them if you wish. Then you have Google Gemini, so you can talk or press a button to talk to Gemini, and you can have live discussions as well, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. You've got quick share, and then you've got data privacy, your Honor ID, so I'm going to set up later in my account. Enhanced services, so different options available here. Then location services, which I'm going to agree to. Gesture control or button control for movement, so always gesture for myself. Then it just reminds you to take note of your device as it is a flexible display. And welcome to Magic OS 10. So we're in, our device is all set up and it's ready to go. Now this is where it gets interesting because I've got last year's Magic V5 right here. Folded, the V6 is 8.75 millimeters, and that's the white model. The V5 was 8.8, so basically the same, whereas both models unfolded are 4 millimeters. But look at this, the V6 weighs 219 grams and the V5 weighs 217 grams. So it's put on 2 grams, while adding though 840 millionth hour bigger battery. That's the headline here. The whole generation, the growth in battery, but kept the weight. As I mentioned, it's running Android 16 with Magic OS 10, and the outer display is a 6.52 inch, now up from a 6.43 inch on the V5, and it hits a 6,000 nits of peak brightness. That's brighter than most phones that you can buy. buy, for me that matters a lot. A bright, low reflection screen is the difference between reading it outdoors and not. And then you open it up to a large 7.95 inch inner display. On a say, the crease is 44% shallower than the V5 and its panel is 33% more impact resistant. First impressions for myself, that crease does actually seem to be not so visible. I have had the V5 for over a year, so folding, unfolding over that year means the crease may be a little bit more visible when first new. But what do you think? A quick rundown of what's driving it, then the bit I really care about. So inside it's a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. Cameras, we've got a 50 megapixel main sensor, 50 megapixel ultra wide, then a 64 megapixel periscope telephoto, 3x optical zoom. So when it comes to charging our large 6660 millionth hour battery, 80 watts wired charging, 66 watts wireless charging. Its durability has also had an upgrade. It's IP68 and 69 rated, where the V5 was IP58 and 59. So this one properly handles water. Right, this is the part you won't get on any other tech channels. As a visually impaired creator, the first thing I check on any new phone is, can I actually use it and what new features does it have? First is Gemini Live. I can share the camera and it will describe what's in front of me. So let's try that out and see how that feels. So if I ask Gemini to look at these flowers for me, and it can tell me that I'm actually looking at a rose. Another option is AI settings agents. I can just tell the phone to turn up the font size. I could ask for it to be brighter as well, instead of digging through the menus. For anyone with low vision, that's not a gimmick, that's independence. I'm going to put all the accessibility settings, including these two settings I've mentioned, through a proper real world test in my full review. That's the video to stick around for. That's the first look at the Honor Magic V6. Over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be living with this as my main phone, and then the big one drops, the full review, head to head with the Magic V5 and a proper accessibility deep dive. Same weight, bigger battery, tougher, waterproof, faster chip, but is that enough to upgrade a phone that's only a year old? I'll give you my honest answer in my review. If you want that review the second it lands, hit subscribe and tell me in the comments the one thing you most want me to test. Is it the battery, camera, accessibility? I read every one. I'm Ricky, this has been Ricky's Tech Talk, and I'll see you in my next video.